Welcome to Soccer Gaming, and welcome back to the channel where you can find helpful guides, tutorials, tips and tricks, stuff like that. We'll also do some franchise rebuild on the channel as well. But in today's episode, we're actually going to go over whether or not I think you should buy MLB The Show 23. My thought on MLB 22 was if you have the money and you love playing baseball, then go ahead and do it. But as far as like, you're not missing anything from 21 to 22. Well, in this video, it's going to be a little bit different than 22 was. So I'll go over all of that and whether or not you should buy it. So if you'd like to watch that, stick around. So I wanted to do this video because I did one last year and I was like, well, the game's not really different. It's pretty much just like roster updates, and they changed a few things as far as like mechanics and stuff like that go. But it really wasn't that big of a difference between MLB The Show 22 and MLB The Show 21. But in MLB The Show 23, they have done a ton of things different. And so far playing it about a week or so, I love the game. It's an amazing game. They've done so many good improvements that it makes me excited for what else is to come. And if they can do this type of stuff every year, then this game is going to be amazing. And that's kind of what has happened in the years past, is they basically just kind of redo rosters, do little stuff like that. Maybe every once in a while they'll add like a mechanic or something, but this year I feel like they went all out. I feel like they've been wasting the last 2 or 3 years building up on this year's game. I'm not sure if that's really the thing or not. They've added a ton of things, including the Negro Leagues and how all of that works. And it's kind of, I wouldn't say super near and dear to my heart. Like I lived in Kansas City and the museums there and everything, and I've never been. I've really wanted to go, but this kind of like, by having this in the game, it kind of gives you the of what's going on and why it's so important for the game of baseball. So I'm really excited that they put this in here and everything that's in it, and like, you just have to play it to understand it. You're gonna love it. The storytelling is amazing. You're gonna play with people that you didn't even really know they were like a big part influence in the Negro Leagues. And so I feel like it's super important, and I feel like they did a really good job of everything that they brought in, the storytelling and everything. They just did an amazing job. I can't really like go into it and explain it. Like, you just have to play it to be able to understand it and just love it, because it's a lot of fun, and the stories in there are just amazing. Not a lot was done with Road to the Show, really. I mean, they didn't really touch that. March to October, still kind of the same thing. The other two things that they touched on was franchise and Diamond Dynasty. And franchise, I'm excited about it because they added a good allotment of stuff to franchise, covering kind of the whole basis. So one of the cool things that they've done is they've really kind of gone further in the scouting department and adding like just different things to it. And when you're going through here, just make sure you're kind of reading the pop-ups that tell you what's going on, because it is a little bit different from this year's game compared to last year's game, and how they scout and all of that stuff and how it all works. So like, basically, as you have the same scouts, and you basically have them edit your scouts or whatever. This guy is scouting a position, these two guys are scouting players, and then you kind of base it off of your needs and everything. And it's just like a lot better of a system so far, I think. As far as like the prospects go, it's really cool is that you could see what what they think the MLB draft is going to be, and what they are to the Royals. So you can kind of change the Royals draft rank to this, but it does a really good job of kind of classifying, because like usually like the first like 7, 8, 9 picks like are all these like really good guys, and so obviously they're going to go like in the top 10. It's just kind of, well, when are they going to go in the top 10? And so it kind of does a good job here of telling you like kind of who's the best. And if you are a team that is like, say you have the 8th draft pick, you're probably not looking at 1, 2, and 3. They're probably going to be gone. So you can kind of save like the time and stuff. And so like, you look at this guy, Adrian Osborne, closing pitcher, probably not a guy I'd actually draft as a closing pitcher, because mostly you want starting pitchers that you can just make closers if need be. But anyways, we've scouted him, and we've decided that if it is coming to our draft, we're going to draft him number 4 compared to the MLB, which is 5. And so that's where they kind of differ here. You can see this. So right here, the Royals want this guy 6th, but the MLB themselves say he's probably going 10. And so it's really cool because they do a good job of the potential and the breakdown and everything. And then they also tell you what the bonus demanded of it is. So like when you go to actually sign this guy, there's going to be other things to it. And as it says here, as you read these, make sure you read these and can kind of understand these, because these are kind of important and everything. And they take physicals, they show injury risk. And then we got the attributes, where it looks at the present, what they think the present is, and what the future is, which is actually really important when signing these guys, because you're signing them for millions and millions and millions of dollars. So you want to make sure that you're signing someone, or you're going after someone that you think is going to be good. So you can look at this and see, okay, from present, his pitch break is from a 69 to a 79. And that stuff just wasn't in last year's game. You didn't really see each of these broke down this way. And it does a really good job of showing everything there. You know, you get the hitter tendencies, which was in last year's game, stuff like that. But you just get a better all-around kind of feeling from this guy. Plus, you get the bonus demanded of 6.3 million. So you know you're probably going to have to spend 6.3 million to get this guy. And then the signing motivation is draft position. So he wants to get basically picked higher. That's going to help him sign. That's his motivation, is to help get him signed. So all of these people have different ones. This one's unknown. This guy, draft position, he wants a 5.1 million at least. Usually it looks like he's pending a doctor exam, so you don't really know his injury risk there and stuff like that. But it's really cool. They've done a really good job with all of that. Not to mention when you actually get to draft day. So when you're in the draft screen here, you get to add your prospects that you want to draft. So we're just going to go ahead, add to queue. We're just looking at, let's just say we're adding people that we really, really want. And so all these guys that are 100%, we're going to go ahead and put them on our board. You also want to pay attention to the interest. So right now he has 46% interest, which is not very high. But this guy, like 58% interest is pretty good. You're looking for like 60s and stuff on these guys. That means like, yeah, they would love to sign. Like this guy would love to sign with us. 75% interest in signing with us. So that's kind of important too, is you don't want to waste a whole bunch of time and money trying to sign someone that their interest is low in you. So if you say you're the number 1 overall pick and you're looking at the number 1 prospect and his interest is 28%, don't even draft him, because you're probably not getting him. So keep that in mind as you're going through here and doing stuff. I'm going to go into the draft real quick and show you kind of everything that's going on, because a lot of it is different now as well. Before it was just like you just pick names and stuff and then it would be what it is. This year it's pretty awesome. They do this. There's like a stage, the guy pops up, kind of like they've done in Diamond Dynasty, and boom, that's your draft pick. That's who the Pirates selected with a number 1 overall draft pick. They show everything about him, our rank, MLB's rank, all that good stuff, just to kind of give you a little more attributes. They believe they do the top 3 here by doing this, and then you kind of go until your pick. If your pick is in the top 3, you'll get to select a guy and you'll get to see him come up here. It's just kind of cool that they added it to it, and I think it adds a little more something to the draft, because like before, you just drafted a name, you get through, you sign him, they have an overall, and you just go on your merry way. Whereas I feel like now the draft is a little more stuff in it. You could just do a lot more in it. So the top 3 were picked. What we're going to do is going to just go ahead and go to our pick, just to kind of show you what the picks have been like this year. So you have your prospects that you had earlier. You can have all of your prospects up and you look at them and you're like, oh, who am I going to sign? I don't know. Let's go ahead and sign this guy. I want him as starting pitcher. We're going to draft this guy. It shows the potential, your age, class, all that good stuff. The overall, his current overall is from a 54 to a 70, and we go ahead and do that. We're going to skip to the end of the draft. That way you can see the whole signing process, because it is a lot different too, to try to sign these guys. So now that you are able to sign them, you're going to come in here and look at everything, and hopefully we got some interested people. It looks like Alonso Diaz is really interested in signing with us. We've scouted him 100%. He was our second round pick, number 43. He has a 75% interest in us. We know at the top left how much you have for signing these guys. So when you're going into this, you have to know, well, how much do I have to spend on the draft pick? So this guy, 55% interest, we're going to offer a contract. He wants, what, 5.1? So say if we offer him 5.53, we submit the offer. He's decided to sign with the Royals. Boom. He is done. He is on our team once the season starts over next year. Same thing, offer contract here. He wants like 1.4. We'll give him 1.5. And he's decided to sign with the Royals there, and we keep doing this until we, one, either run out of money, or two, there's no more draft picks to sign. So the other thing that I felt like that they added was really cool is the World Baseball Classic, kind of taking over it took over baseball for a good month, basically, before baseball started. The World Baseball Classic, which is so exciting and so fun because they haven't done it in a while, and so it was good to see it back, and hopefully this means it'll kind of be back for more years because it was a lot of fun. But MLB has put it into the game, so you can now do the moments and stuff. This is on Diamond Dynasty, by the way. You do the moments, all that, you do showdowns, you do conquest, all of that, and you're going to be getting the players on your Diamond Dynasty team. So you'll be able to select these players and be able to get the players that you want on your team. There's a couple up here that you get. So here are like the 95 overalls that you can get. So you can get some really good cards from this if you can get up through here and grab them. And I believe it's all year long. So you have, what, 270 some days to do it. So it's definitely something that you can get done and knock out. And it's really cool that they added this in here because you can play with people that aren't in the MLB that you don't normally play with. Like, some of these guys aren't in the MLB, and so it's fun to be able to play with guys that aren't in the MLB, but you still get to enjoy different people in the game. So some other things that they added to it is they kind of changed the way you can play defense. Defense is a little more tough. Throwing is a little more tough, like on the meter and everything. It kind of moves now depending on how hard the throw is. So it's not just like reactionary, like I hold for a second and a half and every time it's a perfect throw. It's a little more difficult based on that. So they've added a little more defensive deepness to the game, so it's a little more difficult on defense to get things done. Hitting, they've changed a little bit. They've tweaked on like the way the user hits, and like they did a little bit better job of explaining what is a good contact hit and what is bad contact hit, whether you're late. They do a lot better job of showing that in the animations and everything. So all in all, I really enjoy this game. I think it is totally worth the $70. I spent $100 on it because I wanted the hat, so got the hat with it as well, and it's definitely worth it. There's so much to do, and with what they've added with the Negro Leagues and Diamond Dynasty, the World Baseball Classic, I feel like by now some people have like already kind of accomplished everything, but I don't know anybody, any content creators or anything that are even close to being done with everything in Diamond Dynasty already, which is good. It means there was a lot of content at the beginning, and they've kind of their higher rankings, like there's 95s, 97s, 99s out already compared to last year. They kind of built up to it, so we're waiting to see if that is actually a good thing or not. I don't like it because I feel like, you know, you're going to have 99 teams from people that spend money and stuff on the game. They're going to have a 99 team already, but it is what it is, and it's all fun. It's just a game. Just have fun with the game. But ultimately, yes, I would definitely buy it. It's definitely an upgrade from 2022, and definitely an upgrade from the last like 3 MLB games, which I feel like have been just kind of reskinned and copied. But this year, definitely worth getting. I would highly suggest getting this game. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit the red subscribe button because there's going to be plenty more MLB The Show 23 content coming your way very soon. Till next time, Slacker out.